A very happy and a pleasant morning to you all children. I'm extremely happy in meeting you this morning to discuss the main chapter in chemistry, combustion and flame. Combustion refers to burning. So this lesson is all about the heat energy and light energy which are released when you burn any combustible substance. So this lesson we are going to see in detail about what is combustion, what are combustible substance, who is the supporter of combustion, and how can we eliminate or put off or extinguish fire. So this lesson is a very important lesson, and you all know that the process of burning helps us in a very great manner. For example, if the electricity goes off, then immediately we search for a candle and we light a candle so that the candle gives light energy. Supposing if you are in a very cold climate and if our body is feeling too cold, then we collect some logs of wood and burn it, and we enjoy the heat energy which is received from these logs of wood. Then at the same time, this burning is also dangerous. Among all the accidents, the fire accident is the most tragic and most dangerous accident. So fire helps in a helpful way as well as in a drastic way. So we will discuss about these things in this lesson. Children, pay more attention because you will come across new words for which the definition is required. The definition can be written only when you learn the concept. So children, let us go into the lessons. Now let us see in detail about the chapter called combustion. People generally use wood, cow dung cakes, crop residue, kerosene oil, coke or LPG gas to cook food. For running vehicles, we use petrol or diesel oil. In factories, we use coal or fuel oil or natural gas. The materials such as wood, coke, LPG, petrol, diesel, natural gas have one property in common. That is, they produce heat on burning, which is then put into different uses. Furthermore, some materials on burning produce flame and some do not. For example, a candle or a coal gas on burning produces a flame, but not the coal or charcoal. So, let us study the chemical properties of burning and the types of flames produced during this process. What is combustion? We'll see in this slide. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce oxides and release energy is called combustion. So it is a process in which any substance react with oxygen, and after the reaction they must produce oxides, and the release energy energy in the form of heat, and those substances, they are called the process is called combustion, and the substances which undergo combustion are called combustible substances. So combustible substances are those which catches fire. The energy produced during combustion is usually in the form of heat and light. Sometimes sound is also given out. Let us see more about combustion in this slide. Some substances like magnesium catches fire and burns with a dazzling white flame when heated in air. So this experiment, the burning of magnesium ribbon, we will show it in the class once we reopen. So it will be similar to the season time now, Diwali. So during Diwali, you used to enjoy bursting of crackers. So the lighting of the sparkling plug, right? It is just like the burning of magnesium ribbon, which you call it as kambi matapu. So the burning of the stick is the kambi matapu is just resembles the burning of magnesium ribbon. So it will give a dazzling white flame, and then it will turn into its oxide. Similarly, when a piece of paper is brought near the candle flame, it burns, producing heat and light. The charcoal and the coal burns in air, producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. Air or oxygen, which helps in burning, is called supporter of combustion, and the chemical reactions which takes place with the release of heat and light energy is called combustion. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. The substances which undergo combustion are known as combustible substances. It may be called as a fuel also. Sometimes heat is accomplished by light, either as a flame or as a glow during combustion. Fuel may be a solid, liquid or gas. A combustion reaction may be written as charcoal burns in air to give carbon dioxide and heat. So charcoal is nothing but carbon C. So it needs oxygen for burning, so O2. So when C joins with O2, it gives CO2 plus heat and light energy. Methane burns in air, forming carbon dioxide, water and heat. Methane, the chemical formula is CH4. This is the gas which is present in the cooking gas, right? Methane. CH4 plus 2O2 gives CO2 plus 2H2O plus heat and light. What are combustible substances? Substances which burn in air to produce heat and light are called combustible substance. We have already seen they are also called as fuel in common man's language. Example: wood, coal, charcoal, kerosene, petrol, diesel, liquefied petroleum gas, compressed natural gas, etc. So these are the combustible substance. You can notice that the combustible substances exist in all the three states as solid, liquid and gas. For example, wood is a solid fuel, kerosene is a liquid fuel, and the liquefied petroleum gas LPG is the gaseous fuel. Children, this slide explains you two factors on combustion. One is, you read the question, why is the person caught in fire is covered with a blanket? So if a person catches fire, the immediate help that we can do to them is to cover them with a blanket and roll him on the floor. So this concept you would have learnt in your lower classes. So in what way covering a blanket helps the person to get rid of the fire? So see to the answers. Explanation. If the cloth of a person catches fire, he is immediately wrapped in a thick blanket. The blanket cuts off the supply of air, that is, the supporter of combustion, and hence the fire is put off. Let us see some more activity on this combustion. So before that, so we have learned that when we cover him with a blanket, the outer air is being prevented in contact with this person. That is, the supply of oxygen is totally cut off. So this shows that oxygen is a supporter of combustion. So we are cutting off the supply of air. So the fire is automatically put off. Second thing that we are going to discuss on this is, let us take a matchstick, let us take a paper, and let us take a small piece of wood. If you are asked to light both of this with the help of the matchstick, you can easily light up the paper and you cannot make the wood to catch fire with the help of a matchstick. So why is this? So continue with the slides. Can a matchstick burn on its own? We can burn a wooden piece by a lighted candle. The answer to this question is no. This shows that different substances burn at different temperatures. Some minimum temperature is essential for burning a combustible substance before it catches fire. This minimum temperature is called ignition temperature. So, in short, the paper has lower ignition temperature, so it can be lighted with the matchstick. Or else the log of wood has a higher ignition temperature, so at this stage, with the help of a matchstick, you cannot make it to catch fire. Children, we will see about the definition of ignition temperature. The minimum temperature at which a substance catches fire and burns is called ignition temperature. A substance will not catch fire and burn if its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. Different substances have different ignition temperature. Example, the ignition temperature of kerosene is less than the ignition temperature of wood. Substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substance. Example, petrol, alcohol, LPG, CNG, etc. Let us learn more about ignition temperature in this slide. It is the minimum temperature to which a combustible substance must be heated before it catches fire. Therefore, we see that a combustible substance cannot catch fire as long as its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. Example, ignition temperature of phosphorus is 35 degrees Celsius. So, unless phosphorus is heated to 35 degrees centigrade, it will not catch fire. However, if the temperature of air itself is above 35 degrees centigrade, phosphorus will catch fire without heating itself. Similarly, kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at room temperature, but both are heated a little, then kerosene oil will catch fire and not wood. This shows that ignition temperature of kerosene oil is lower than that of wood. Let's the following activity. Let's do the following activity, which shows that a substance cannot burn until it catches its ignition temperature. So this activity is nothing but lighting of a log of wood with the help of kerosene oil. Children, this slide is an experiment which proves you that air is necessary for burning. So we had seen that oxygen is a supporter of combustion. In the case of a person who catches the fire, we cover him with a blanket with the purpose that the supply of oxygen is cut off. Once the supply of oxygen is cut off, then there will not be any more combustion. So we have seen that oxygen is a supporter of combustion. So how can we prove that oxygen is a supporter of combustion? So through this activity, we can demonstrate and prove that air is necessary for burning. Now fix a lighted candle on the table. Put a glass chimney over the table and rest it on a few wooden planks in such a way that air can enter into the chimney. Observe what happens to the flame. So children, first you have to take a candle and light it and keep it on the table. Then take a chimney. A chimney is nothing but the one which is shown here is a cylindrical glass vessel that also can be used for this purpose. And the bottom of the chimney should rest on wooden blocks so that there should be enough gap between the table and the chimney. So the purpose of the wooden blank is to allow air to enter into the chimney. Now if you observe what happens, then the second case B, just you remove the wooden blocks which are below the chimney. Then observe what happens. And in the third diagram, cover the top of the chimney with the help of a glass plate. Now observe what happens. So the observations that you find in all the three cases will reveal you that oxygen is necessary. In the first case, the candle continues to burn because there is a continuous supply of air. Air enters into the gap which is between the table and the chimney, and so the candle continues to burn. In the second case, once when you remove the wooden blocks, the candle will immediately put off. The burning candle will stop automatically. So this is because no air will enter into the cylinder, right? And in the third case also, there is no supply of air, therefore the candle is put off. Okay, so see to the observations. The candle burns freely in A because air enters the chimney from below. The candle stops burning in B because air does not enter the chimney from below. The candle does not burn in C because air is available. This shows that air is necessary for burning. Now, let us see what are the conditions or what are the factors on which the combustion depends upon. So, to have combustion, we need the following. What are they? There must be a combustible substance. Second point, there must be a continuous supply of oxygen. Third point is the temperature of the combustible material should be above its ignition temperature. Now we come across a new term called ignition temperature. So this ignition temperature, we will take it up in the upcoming slides. So for combustion to happen, we need to have three conditions. There must be a substance, and that substance must be a combustible substance. That means it should be capable of catching fire. Then there must be continuous supply of oxygen. That means air should continuously blow in order to have combustion. So once there is a breakage of air, there is an absence of oxygen, which leads to the combustion coming to an end. So the temperature should be above its ignition temperature. That we will discuss it in the upcoming slides. Now in this slide, let us discuss about the presence of combustible substance. The presence of combustible substance is necessary for combustion to take place. It is actually the food for fire. Presence of supporter of combustion. The most common supporter of combustion which we have around us is air. For example, if burning charcoal is covered with a vessel, it stops burning after some time. That is, the charcoal fire gets extinguished after some time. Actually, when we cover the burning charcoal with a vessel, the supply of supporter of combustion to the burning charcoal is cut off, and hence the coal fire stops. When the clothes of a person catches fire, the person is covered with a blanket to extinguish the fire. This is because when the burning clothes of a person are covered with a blanket, the supply of air to the burning clothes is cut off, due to which the clothes stop burning, the fire gets extinguishes. We find that when the supply of supporter of combustion to a burning substance is cut off, then the process of burning also stops. Children, this slide gives you more information about the ignition temperature. Some of the substances have low ignition temperature. For example, paper, splinter of wood, straw, cloth, alcohol, kerosene, biogas, LPG, CNG, etc. These substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substance. These substances are very dangerous to use. You would have seen a lorry filled with petrol, diesel, kerosene, which is moving on the road with the triangular sign, highly flammable. So they are containing substances which have low ignition temperature. Petrol has a much lower ignition temperature than that of kerosene. Due to its very low ignition temperature, petrol catches fire easily on heating on being lighted with a matchstick and burns explosively. That is why it is not used in stoves. Kerosene has a higher ignition temperature due to which it burns smoothly in kerosene stove. Some of the substances having high ignition temperature, they are coal, charcoal, log of wood and cow dung. These substances which have very high ignition temperature and cannot easily catch fire with the flame are called inflammable substance. Children, we have seen in all the slides about the supporter of combustion. Now here we will see about the substance which controls fire. Why does the fire goes off when water is poured over burning wood? So whenever a log of wood is burning, we usually sprinkle some water over its surface in order to stop its burning. Why is that? Explanation. It happens because water absorbs a large amount of heat energy which results in fall in the temperature of wood below its ignition temperature and the fire goes off. This is the reason why water is being used as a coolant, right? Then test yourself. What do you mean by supporter of combustion? Name a gas which is a non-supporter of combustion. So think it over and get me the answers. How do we control fire? We have seen homes, shops and factories catch in fire. How can the fire be controlled from spreading? Generally, water is used to control fire. Water brings down the temperature of the combustible substance below its ignition temperature. The water vapor surrounds the combustible material, thus helping in cutting off the supply of air. So that the fire is extinguished. Children, by this we come to the end of today's learning process. So in this today's lesson we have discussed about combustion, combustible substance, ignition temperature, conditions needed for combustion. So listen to the slides more frequently till you get understand, and for those new words which you have come across, try to learn the definitions. Also go through the textbooks in order to make the concept more clear. Okay, so we will meet next week, children.